Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining from. You're very welcome to the Live Again Foundation Skill Acquisition Program on Events Management. And today I'm excited because it's going to be another interesting, explosive, valuable, insightful teaching today. My name is Enifome Ubimi. I am the founder of the Live Again movement and the executive director, Live Again Foundation. We help women live again, right? And we have several initiatives. We have the Live Again Outreach, we have the Live Again Shelter, we have the Live Again Skill Acquisition, right? And this is one of them. We have the physical one, which is the video you saw that covered a wide range of skills. But today we're having the events management training, and it's my honor to introduce our facilitator. Her name is Norma Jide Ebelendu. She is an award winning experiential planner and creative director of Alessa Suave Events, a distinguished planning and management uh, company based in Nigeria. In January 2024, she launched Igboamaka by Alessa, a cultural initiative committed to redefining the Igbo traditional marriage experience through creativity and intentional storytelling. With over 15 years of experience in banking and entrepreneurship support and 4 years in the event space, Norma brings a wealth of knowledge and excellence to every project that she leads. She is the host of Alessa Meets, an Instagram live series where she engages industry professionals in meaningful discussions on event related topics. Her work has earned her numerous recognitions, including being selected by Dubai government for the Dubai Global Excellence Forum and Retreat, and being named a top planner by City People magazine. And she's also a recipient of the BEA Award for Emerging Event Professional and Most Outstanding Member. Right, our facilitator today is loaded, and I am elated, delighted, happy, overjoyed to bring her. But before I bring her, let me know in the chat, how ready are you? How ready are you? I want to see your comments. How ready are you to receive our facilitator this morning? Let me know. How ready? How ready? On a scale of 1 to 10, drop in the chat how ready you are. Let me know how ready you are in the chat. Drop the fire emojis. I'm not going to bring her up until I see those fire emojis. I'm not going to bring her up until I see the readiness, until I see, because we're bringing to you a paid program for free, right? That we are having these acquisition trainings for free doesn't mean that they are free, right? It means that the Live Again Foundation is taking that responsibility of bringing you a free program, but it is not free. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I want to know how ready you are. I'm going to go to the comments to read the comments. I want to go to the comments. In fact, go to the group. If you're not on the group, go to the group and drag everyone who is not here yet. Um, I want to believe that the email was sent. I want to believe that the email was sent to everyone. So go to the group and literally drag everyone. If you know that have you have someone that registered for this program that has not joined, go and drag them. Okay, so I'm gonna bring her now. I have already introduced her, and she's here. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me. Welcome with me, our facilitator for today. Norma Jide Ebelendu. Are you here? Okay, I want to be sure that she's here because I can't see her camera on. Give me a second to reach her. Give me a second, but keep dropping the emojis in the chat. Keep dropping the emojis in the chat and go and call everyone. Go and call everyone that you know that is supposed to be here while I get a hold of her. Okay. Okay. Mm. You know, it's not gonna- it's not gonna- Okay, I see that she's here now. Good morning. Can you hear me? I've been trying to get a hold of you on WhatsApp, but I just figured let me just add you to the stream and your camera can just come on. Welcome,
Uh,
welcome. Can you hear me? Okay, good,
and good
good.
morning.
Good morning. You're welcome. So we've
Thank
introduced you and everyone has welcomed you in the chat and they have their fire emojis. Ejiro says ready, 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 ready. Uh, Eka says ready. Ife Damola says you're welcome. Rosemary says so ready. Thank you for the opportunity. Blessing has all the emojis on. And so we are good to go. So I'm going to leave the stage for you right now so that you can take it away.
Okay. My. So who helped me with the slide? Good morning,
Yes, we're going to
everyone.
be presenting your slides from the back end.
Thank you very much. Please,
Yes.
I'll try and I'll try and just let me know if you can hear me, please. It's very important. I've been under the weather. I almost wanted to cancel, but I said no. I will just hold on. So it took me a while to come on because I was trying to just tidy up with my medication. But can you hear me, please? Um, I need confirmation that you guys can hear me.
Can you hear me? We can hear you.
I can. Okay, so we can start. We can start.
Yes, please.
Okay, so my name is Norma Chite Belendo. So please, I would like this slide. I want to see once my slide comes on, I'll just take it from there. And I'm happy to have everyone in this class. So we'll be talking about event planning. Of course, this will be like an introduction. I don't expect that after this class you just rush into the market and then and say I'm a planner now. No, so I'm introducing you to the profession, event planning and management. So if after today's class is something you want to pursue, you might need to now sign up properly, maybe for a class or look for a planner close to you that you could possibly intern with so that you could get more um, hands-on, on what happens. Do you understand? Because believe you me, being in a class and then being on the field, they are two different things. I can tell you now for free. They are two different things. But I'll try as much as possible to use examples and make this class as relatable as possible, so that even when you attend an event and you're a guest, you understand what is happening, because now you have you have an insight of what's going on behind the scene, even though no one is seeing it, but you're there as a guest and you have an idea. Okay. So Edifon, can I have my slide now, please? Thank you. Okay, so our slide is here, so we could start. Next slide. There's this. Okay, yeah. So we're going to talk about. Thank you very much. So this is where I want to come to. So we're going to tell the things we're going to talk about today. We're going to define events, types of events. We have the corporate, we have the social. We'll talk about the event planner, quality and skills. We'll talk about the planner's rule. We'll talk about some BTS in event planning. If you have any question, we could take it on. And then the conclusion. Okay, next slide. But please, as I speak, if you have questions, you could just draft them. So I'd rather we'll take all the questions at the end. It's better, so that let the class just have a free flow. Any question you have, just put it together, and then let me know where make a reference of the particular slide you're referring to with your question. Do you understand? So for example, if I say definition of events, blah 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 blah, I have questions while I'm defining events. So you put your question and say, okay, Norman, when you were defining events, you said this. My question is this. Do you understand? So that's how we're going to run. Okay, so for introduction, can I go on? Hello, can I go on now? Toyosi, I learned you're the one handling the slide. Can I go on?
Yes, you can, you can, you can, you can, please.
Okay. So we're going to start off with an introduction. What is an event? An event is a planned public or social occasion of importance. It's a planned public or social occasion of importance. So if it's of no importance, if it's not public, then it's not an event. So when you and your sisters are gisting inside your house, you can't call it an event, because it's not public. It might be important, but it's not public. Do you understand? So an event is an event because everybody knows that you is talked about. It's not just you. So if I tell any woman now, I'm having my birthday, I just want to have a private birthday, you're the only one that will be in attendance. So it's not just me now. It's now public, because I'm not the one with the knowledge alone. Any woman now knows about it. And because wherever it is that we're going to have that birthday, it will definitely be outside somewhere. Even if it's in the bedroom, but the knowledge it has left me. Somebody else also has that information. And maybe any might decide to now tell a friend and tell a friend. Do you understand? So once it gets to that point, once it leaves your mouth or your heart from your mouth, and another ear gets to hear about it, that's an event. And then every event has an importance. There's nobody that just say, I want to do party for party's sake. It's a lie. Everybody, every occasion, every event has an undertone, whether you agree or not. There must be a reason why you're doing something. You might be doing it because you now have too much money. I just want the world to know that you have arrived. That is a reason. Do you understand? That's a reason. It might be that you're doing it because when you were down and out, some people showed you pepper, and now you want to show. They want to retaliate. That for some people, yes, that is also a reason. That's your goal. That's what you want to achieve. It could just be that you now know how to cook, or maybe you met this chef and the person has been a blessing to your life. You just want people to know that this person exists and this person can do so well. You have an event for the purpose of just announcing somebody. Is also an aim. It's also how will I put it now? It's also a reason for having an event. So there's nobody that will just come to you and tell you, "Oh, I just want to have an event for having sake, or I just want to trip up." I'm having a wedding. It's not just because you want to be joined to this man. There's a reason why you're planning a wedding. From the couple, from the groom side, bride side, parent side, wherever, there's always a reason for everything. Okay, that's for event. So event planning is the coordination of every details of an event. So events, every event, private, public, corporate, social, they all have moving parts. So there are tiny parts moving everywhere before the day. Right from when the idea is conceived, there are tiny parts. So and a planner or event planning means all these moving parts, bringing them together to achieve that common goal. That's event planning. And the person that is responsible for bringing these moving parts together is called the planner. Do we get it? We've defined the event. We've also talked about what event planning is. Event planning is a coordination of the moving parts. There are so many things make up an event. Plenty, a lot. Human, emotion, a whole lot. There's so many things that make up an event. We'll look at it as the time as we go on. A lot of things make up events. So there is someone at the back end that puts all these pieces together, and then it becomes that event or the wedding or the party that you now attend at the end of the day. There are moving parts everywhere. When you come to maybe probably Ivy, conceiving the idea, designing the space, creating the concept, these are all moving parts. It's just stay in the air. So the ability or the process of bringing all of these together is what you call event planning. Then the person that does this bringing together is called the planner. And of course, the planner doesn't always work alone. They also have several people doing several things to make sure these whole moving parts come together. And the aim of the client, the main person that started this idea, is achieved at the end of the day. Please let me know if you get that. It's very important. You can unmute and let me know if you understand what I just said now. Hello, I hope I'm not alone here. Can you still hear me? Hello? Feedback, please. Can you hear me? Do you understand the explanation I just gave now?
Hi, Norma. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so everyone that is listening to you is listening to you from YouTube. So they are
Okay.
not going to be able to unmute to speak to you, but their
Oh,
comments shows that they are there. So,
okay.
for example, right now, Opsi Arowolo just said understood. Switch just said right on, right?
Okay.
Switch
Okay.
said
That's
right on. Opsi said, I can hear you. Switch says, we can hear you. This is YouTube. So the comments will let you know we are with you. So I am backstage, but I'm listening to you. So I came up because if I'm talking backstage, you might not be able to hear me. So if I want to talk to you, I have to come on stage for you to see me. But we're all here with you. Those on the backstage, those on YouTube, we're all with you. Blessing Ebuluwe says, we are with you, Mama. So we're with you. So the comments will keep coming up for you to know that we're with you, but we are with you.
Okay, thanks for this clarification. Okay, now I'll just go on.
Yes,
If I will
yes,
just
just
once
go
I
on.
yeah, no problem. Okay, please next
Yes,
slide.
please.
So types of we have different types of events. We have corporate, social, religious, festival, and others. So under corporate, corporate me is for the business people. The Dangotes, the banks, the FMGs, all of that. Those are the corporate. For social, you have the birthday party, you have wedding, but now wedding is almost like a standalone. So you have social. Sometimes you see some people say social and the weddings, because wedding it's like another industry on its own. Okay, but for this class, we're still going to treat wedding as social. So we have corporate, we have social, we have religious. Religious, we have this Hallelujah Festival or Challenge, NSPPD Live, NSPPD Prayer Conference, that's religious. We have for festival, there's this one they do, God forgive me, I've got, but one Western State where they tie a show and all of that. Is it Ojojo about something? I hope I got the name. Forgive me. But I know what I'm talking about, where they come with beautiful Ashoke. That's a festival. So we have this fishing festival, Agungu Fishing Festival. That is also an event. Do you understand? So those are festival. Then we have others. There are so many others. We could have let me look for an example. Okay, I've given religious, I've given festival, I've talked about social, I've talked about weddings, every other kind of events. So sometimes you might have how would I be able to now? Would I call it NGOs? Yeah, people might just come up and probably they want to possibly maybe raise funds for something, and they create an awareness. We are trying to raise money to do certain things. So there are some events that people they are put up events, for events. Do you understand? So like an awareness kind of thing, probably to raise money for something that is coming up and all of that. So as long as people come together, this is important, it's declared public, it's open, it's an event, and people are involved, there are moving parts, and somebody has to put them together. Those are all events. And all of these events, they have different characteristics. The thing that is common with all of these people is that there is a planning involved, there is a management involved, and there are people that will do all of these things. But for each and every one of them, they have things that are peculiar to them. So, for example, for corporate events, you not expect to see tall centerpieces at corporate events, because corporate events are meant to be serious. Yeah, they're meant to be serious. They're meant to something you need to focus. You're coming to learn. You're not, even though these days corporate events we tend to end up with maybe probably partying at the end of the day, but the core of every corporate event, whether you are launching a product or we're passing information about something about the company, we're rebranding, that's corporate event. So there's a focus. We don't want attention to be taken away from the core of it. Do you understand? So when you go, that's why I notice when you go for corporate event, you might not see so many fancy things. You might not see flowers and all of that, except probably there's a gala night. The main corporate event, they are very, very conscious about their brand and identity. Very conscious. And that's why if a first bank, for example, is having an event in Lagos, they're having an event, wherever they're having it, the color is consistent. They don't play with it. That's one thing with corporate events. Their brand identity is of utmost importance. There's also, they try as much as possible to reduce distraction. Do you understand? They want to take what do you call it now? Want to take record of attendance for future reference. Do you understand? So that's corporate event. But when it comes to social event, it's all party from the word go. You already know you are in for a good time. I'm not saying corporate event, you're not in for a good time. You know, of course you are, but the focus can be lost. For social events, there are so many things. If it's for a wedding, for example, I'm attending with so many things in mind. For those that are single, might be coming to shoot their shots. For those that are married, might be coming probably for networking. Yes, social events, you can also network. So people have, for those that do pickpocketing, for the thieves that come for social events, they are only to come and steal phones. Everybody has their own plan as they're coming for that social event. Same thing with corporate event. But for corporate, it's targeted at the person that is calling the shot. So the corporate that's inviting you has a message you want to pass. So we cannot lose focus on that. But for social event, there are so many distractions. So it could be the bride's wedding dress if it's a wedding. It could be the entrance of the celebrant if it's a birthday. Do you understand? If it's a school that is doing what I call it now reunion, it could be probably they are coming back with their school uniform. What you wore 40 years ago, that's what I want to see you come back with. Do you understand? So that's for social event. For religious, you're going also with concentration. Everybody comes also with their own idea. Everybody has their own idea of what they want to come and achieve on that day for religious and then for the festival too. But for you as the planner of this event, you will not lose focus of these two things. What the client wants to achieve and what you as the planner also want to achieve. Remember, I told you from the onset, everyone has an idea. Everybody is looking up to something, even you, the planner. For being a planner of an event, you have a plan also. It could be that you want your brand to be known. It could be that you are hoping to get referral. It could be you want to get clients, get bookings from there. It could be just you just want to feel good, or it could just be that you like this brand and whether I get client or not, I can't be bothered. I just want to be a part of this movement. Do you understand? And so whatever it is the client has told you they want, that is what will guide you in when you're putting all these moving parts that we talked about earlier. When you're putting them together, that is what will guide you. So if for a corporate event, client has told you they are rebranding. So that means they're going to make a grand announcement. If, for example, let me use Live Again Outreach, our color is pink. Or anything comes and say for next year, we want to rebrand. We don't want only pink. We want to include men. We have realized that some men are also abused these days. So we want to do pink and blue. So we are going to rebrand. That's what it means. So if a different come and put it up now to the planning team, we'll start thinking now, how do we make this announcement? How do we now get people to know that Live Again is not only for women or is also for men now? Because technically everybody that sees Live Again now just think it's women. That's what will come to your mind naturally. But now you want to start shifting people's idea from just seeing just women to seeing men also. She come to me and say, okay, I also want to include children now, because I realize that some parents even abuse their children. So it's not only husband abusing wife abusing husband, but we now have parents abusing children. So I want to take care of everybody. So when she brings that to you, that is called brief. If I come and say, this is my plan, this is what I want to do, whatever I tell you I want to do is called a brief. So when you receive a brief from a client now, whether corporate, social affairs, whatever it is, you must receive a brief. Because you're not a spirit being. It's only God that knows the heart of a man. And since you're not God, you don't know their hearts. They must tell you what it is that they want to do. Okay? So when they tell you what they want to do, you now have to ask questions. Two things. You can choose to tell them, please go ahead and tell me everything it is that you have in mind concerning this thing, this day, or this thing you want to do. Let me hear it. And they go and they tell you on and on and on how they want 1,000 people to register for the event, how they give you all of that. You now put it down. Then you now go back as a planner and start putting things in place. What can we do to achieve this? What can we do to achieve that? What do we need to do? You're the one that will have to think out all of these things. So the client has taken his or her headache and given to you as a planner, your head now becomes heavy. You now go with it. You start offloading. They want to do this. They want to do that. How do we do this? How do we move from here to this place? You're the one that will do all of that. Do we need God to send us help? Do we need angels? Do we need mobile police? You are the one that will come up with all of that. So when you're able to put these thoughts together, you cannot go back to the client. No, you not go back to the client. It's okay. Thank you, ma. You said this, you said this, you said this. And this is what I think we need. For us to do this rebranding, the event is coming up. I'm still going to, let me keep using live again. Let's assume we're expanding. We're living not just women now. We've realized that there are women that even abuse men. Do you understand? So we want to expand to include men from next year. So that's a year plan already. We could tell her, people's focus are on women. Okay, by second quarter of 2025, this is what we want to do. We want to start showcasing on our pages, maybe men that are also being abused. Maybe every quarter, you will give a speech about this. Things like that. That's sensitization. So by the time she does it like 3 quarters, people will now start, it be like say, it's like, are they, so that's sensitization that is coming in. With that now, when I say the big thing is coming, blah, 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 we can now add color. Maybe we're doing pink and blue, or let's do green. Let's do, okay, when you mix, we can decide now and say, okay, when you mix pink and blue, what color does it give you? That will not be our new brand color. It is still live again. It's still the same message. But what we've just done is our scope has just changed. So we have rebranded. Do you understand? So you as a planner, that's your work. You're the one that will tell the client, okay, this is what we need to do. Okay. Also, in engaging a client, some will tell you, I want to have a replica of heaven on earth, but I have only 2 million naira to do it. In your mind already, you now say, is it possible? How can a heaven 2 million? What can 2 million do? When we are aware that 2 million, some hair is 2 million, some people's hair is even 2 million naira. How can it bring heaven? Do you understand? But you can't query a client's budget. You can't resist the temptation. I know sometimes when you hear, you just say, no, you can't do that. When we get to the characteristics of an event planner, I'll explain better how you carry yourself. You can't query a client's brief. You cannot by query. I'm not saying you can't say, oh, this is not achievable. No. What I mean is that you can't say it's impossible. I think in the world that we live now, there's no impossibility. There is no, whether spiritual or physical, there's no impossibility. So they are coming to you as a planner because they know that you know these things. You've been in this field. So imagine going to a doctor and saying, I have a doctor will not take headache. Why will you be having headache? Headache. Just raw. You know that even when the doctor keeps telling you headache, headache. Headache. So what are we going to do about this headache? When a doctor asks you, what are we going to do about a headache? Just take a walk. You know that is not a doctor again. You go to a doctor and say, you will tell the doctor I have a headache, because you know that the doctor has been in the field of human anatomy. Headache could be so many things. But I tell you, the headache comes only by 6 p.m. and it comes like a straight line. It comes from my back to my front. That's the brief for. You're briefing the doctor. That's the same thing as you're briefing the planner, or they're giving you a brief. And the doctor will just be listening to you. When you go to doctor, you know how they do now? They'll be writing. That's what's expected of you too. A planner is like a GP. You know everything about events, but you are definitely not an expert in everything. So when somebody comes to you and they're telling you, you can say, okay, yes, I understand what you're saying. I understand this. Then you can later on go and meet experts in those things to flesh out what the client has said. That's the same thing that happens when you go to a woman that is pregnant, go and see a doctor. I'm having pain here. Doctor will just suspect 1 or 2 things and refer you to a gynae. That's how it works. It's the same thing in the events field. Whether Dangote calls you today, he will not expect you to come today and tell him the figure, everything today. It's not possible. Because like I said, planning or event has different parts, and all the parts are moving. You're there to put the parts together and give life to whatever it is that the client has told you. Okay? I hope I'm making sense and we're getting what I'm saying. Next slide, please. Next slide. Oh, can I? Oh, I wish I can change myself. Fake doctor. But we have them now. Next slide, please. Okay, so now let's talk about. So I've talked to us about the different events, corporate, the festival, the religious, and all of that. So who is this person? Who is this magician that is expected to put everything that is moving and give it flesh, make it come to life? For those of us that are in Bible scholars, or those of us that read the Bible, you know, when the dry bones, can you remember in Ezekiel, the dry bones, how life was given to them and they became an army? That is where a planner is. So the same way God gave life to a dry bone, a planner is expected to give life to ideas and make it come to pass. I say make it come to pass, sorry. And give life to ideas. So that on that day, when you walk into a house, say, oh, this one, that is life. That is a planner working with people and bringing an idea to life. So who is this person? Who is this event planner? So your skill as an event planner, apart from all of these things, you must be a very patient person. I don't know if patience is here. Problems. Let's go to that one first. You must be a very patient person. If you're not patient, please just sign out of this class or just listen for listening sake. You must be very patient. You know, this patience is a virtue, Abi. For a planner, you need 1 million doses of it per second, though. Not a day. Oh. You need it per second. Because as a planner, you're not just managing one person, you're managing a lot of people. When we come to corporate events, you're managing an entire organization. You're managing the guests that will come for that event. You're managing the people, the vendors that's supposed to make this dream a reality. And you cannot lose yourself. I will take that again. As a planner, patience as a virtue, you need 1 million doses per minute per second. 1 million a day will not be enough. Because there are so many people you're managing. You're managing your clients. I'm talking about corporates now. You're managing your clients, you're managing the vendors, sometimes you're managing their service providers. So because sometimes you have corporate clients that probably have they have vendors, external vendors that they deal with. Maybe for their branding, they have their own brand vendor. So you're going to manage those ones. You're managing everything, and nothing must go wrong. The way you now come to wedding, let's come to wedding. You're managing the bride, you're managing the groom, you're managing the bridal party, you're managing the parents of the bride, parents of the groom, you're managing the families, you're managing the church, you're managing their guests, you're managing the event center. I've got to mention that one. You're managing the venue of the event. Everything is on you. And in all of this management, you cannot lose yourself. So you cannot lose yourself. I mean, I cannot lose myself as Norma, and I cannot lose my brand, Alessa. So Alessa will still be Alessa, Norma will still be Norma. Even if the roof is falling, I can't give way. So you see why I say, if you're not a patient person, you can take an excuse. You can say, please, ma, excuse, let me go and buy patience. We'll give you, go and buy. When you have it, you now come back because you need it. Because sometimes you might have clients that will make you walk on eggshells. We had an event last on Friday. You know when you have event that you're praying for the day to come quickly and go. You know how Jesus was looking forward to, let this cup pass over me. There are some clients like that. No matter how much you pray, you can't jump the day now. You still have to wait for that day to come and go. Sometimes you can have a very sweet, loving client that will just allow you, please, oh, I trust you, go ahead, do whatever I need to do. We thank God for them. But everybody is not like that. So that's why, as a planner, you must be very patient. Is it patient? You must have it. Okay? So let's go with this one now. Your organizational skill must be top notch because you're managing multiple tasks. It might not be you doing it directly. You might have, well, not might, you will have staff definitely, but if your staff goofs, it's you, they know. They're not going to tell you, for example, if I'm supposed to do something and probably I assign it to one of my staff and he or she didn't do it, then my client calls me and I say, sir, it's not me. You are not like, you will not be, you not have opportunity like if that will say, excuse me, sir, it's not me, it's a serpent. You don't have that. Or like Adam will say, sir, it is not me, it's the woman that you gave me. Nothing like that though. You will take it. You're the one that will be lashed on. Do you understand? So your organizational skill must be on point. So that even if you have 1 million tasks and you sublet or lease it out or have your staff handle it, you should also be able to have or how would I put it now? You should have things in place. There's a word I'm looking for. It's not here yet, but you should have things in place to be able to monitor all of these activities. You can't give excuse. You cannot give excuse. Once that responsibility has been given to you, once a client pays money, forget to, they will come for you. They'll come for, even if it's 1 naira. You see, once you collect that money, you are alert. I've received the alert. You have signed up for it though. Do you understand? So it's very, very important you be able to manage because of multiple tasks. You know, sometimes those days when we used to do 9 to 5, those days when we write CVs, I say I'm multitasking. I can do more than one thing without supervision. That English language. When it comes to actually to do it, can you? Because that's what planning is. You must multitask. Must. Okay? Second one, must be very creative because nobody wants copy and paste. I don't want to attend an event in 2020 and I'm attending the same event in 2025 and it's looking like I'm in 2020. Number three, budget management. You should be able to manage money. So if your client comes to you and say, I have 2 million and I want to create heaven, you need to make it happen. So if they're not going to get heaven, they should to get something that is heaven. I always tell people luxury or heaven is relative. What is heaven to me, literally, is what I call heaven might not be heaven to any for me. So heaven to me might be waking up, in a hotel, and I don't have to wash plates. No child is asking mommy this, mommy that. That might be heaven. No? For some people, heaven is just the fact that they are waking up and they don't have to step out of their room. That's heaven for them. For some people, heaven is just feeling good. Me right now, the heaven I'm seeking now is just to be fine. I want to be able to feel myself because I'm not feeling myself. So right now, anything that will make me myself, me, I know, you always know yourself. When you're 100% fit, you don't even need angel. You don't need a prophet to tell you. You will know, I'm fit as fiddle. You will know. When you're not okay, you will know. Even you might be walking, do everything. You just get your struggle, but you know inside you that this is not me. So for everybody, their heaven differs. So whenever a client gives you and say, this is my budget, it's your job to manage that money. So even if they have to exceed, let them exceed not by so much. Not when they give you a budget, probably, okay, let me assume now we drop a budget for an event and when it comes to like 10 million, for example, and then the cost of execution you're spending 15, 20 million. That's crazy. And the brief did not change. That is crazy. Do you understand? So to a large extent, if you're going to exceed, let it be maybe because inflation is now 11 million or 10.5, but not that you're going to 20 million. All right, you should be able to manage your budget. Excellent communicator and communication. As I'm speaking now, you know what, I stopped earlier to ask if you could hear me and all of that. That's communication. And now you're responding. We can hear you. We understand you. We're on the same ground, on the same level. That means my skill, my communication skill is excellent. If I come and start speaking Igbo, only those that are from my place, even there are some people that will speak. If I speak my own dialect, some people will not even understand. If I'm Ebonyi State, now if I speak Ebonyi, people will not understand. But it's still Igbo I'm speaking. That means there's something wrong with my communication. Communication is not complete until the second party or the second person or whoever it is you're speaking with can tell what you're saying. And when you ask questions, the person can answer or the person can respond. Until that happens, you've not had any form of communication. So you should be able to say what it is you're doing or what you want to do, what you intend to do in such a way that anybody that hears, the Bible talks about writing the vision down, making it plain. That is communication. Making it plain so that anybody that sees it, whenever they see it, will understand. The message of Christ is very simple. Accept Jesus and be saved. It's nothing personal. That's all. That's what it is. So all these every other thing goes down to the main thing. Accept Jesus and be saved. That's it. Every other thing, it comes from that. So the message has not changed. So that's the same thing with you. So if you're speaking to the lane man, if you're speaking to the gate man, you're speaking to the sales staff, you're speaking to the bride, you're speaking to the bride's mom, the message is the same thing. This is what I'm doing. This is what needs to be done. This not when the mother will say, I thought the planner meant, no, she meant that means your communication is not right. So you also need to learn how to communicate. So it's not about speaking English. Even if you're saying it in Yoruba, let it be there is an understanding. It's very straightforward. It's simple. Anybody that hears you understands and know what you're talking about. Okay? You also must be able to negotiate well. You should be able to negotiate. Because sometimes you might have events where you have clients, say people are supposed to sit down here. Somebody will argue, no, I don't sit down here. You're able to be able to negotiate with that person, a client, not the client, I mean maybe a guest, and persuade that person, give the person reasons why he or she needs to sit there. Believe you me, there are people that cannot be convinced. No problem, don't kill yourself over them. After all, Jesus, with all the time he spent with Jesus, he did not change. He was still messed up. Do you understand? So it's okay if you have a Judas. But if all the 12, imagine all the 12 disciples were Judas, it's a problem. But the fact that it's only one person that's a Judas, that means that one is just not normal. Okay? So at every event, there are abnormal people. Accept that and just take it and no peace. Everybody cannot love you as a planner. Everybody can love you. But that's immaterial. You're not there. You're not in a love affair. It's a business relationship. You're there to deliver a job and deliver the job, then move on. It's okay if after a job, your client does not call you to say, how are you? It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. When the event is on, when you're still planning, someone going to tell you, hi, any for me, how are you today? Have you eaten? It doesn't mean it will always be like that. Don't ever assume that after event, you and your client will build a tabernacle and dwell. It may not happen. No. Some other relationship might blossom from it. But if it doesn't mean you didn't do well. Because the next day they'll call you next year. Please, this is coming up. Want you on board again. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? So you should be able to negotiate. And negotiation comes with relationship. So negotiating with vendors for your clients. You're negotiating for them to reduce. If a vendor has said, if your client meets a vendor and the vendor says, we're collecting 1 million, you should be able to speak to that client and probably get them to give you a form of discount. That's what I'm negotiating. And that comes with relationship. Because there are clients, there are vendors I can speak to today and say, please, I know this is 1 million naira, please. Can you give me for this? Can you do this for me? There are some vendors that can do things for you for free. Everything has to do with relationship. So as a planner, you must be very personable. Your interpersonal skill must be over 100. It must be excellent. Because that's the best way. That's because you need people to work. You need people to be able to support you. Because there are times you might need to move a table, move an arm, move a leg. Who will do it? You cannot always be available for everything. Do you understand? You will not always, no matter how much you desire it. Like I had two events on Friday. I woke up that morning. I've never felt sick in a long while. It was horrible. Even when I spoke to my staff on the phone, they said there is something, there is a problem, madam. I was sick. I was like, why? After this, we've been planning for this event, and now I'm feeling this sick. It was horrible. I had to go. I got my staff. One was at one center, one was at another center, and they arrived before 8 a.m. They were there till at one of them. I left by 11 p.m. because there's some clients that you can't be bothered. You're sick. That's the least of their problem. Oh. Yeah, I'm like that, so I understand. I wasn't. I can't. I'm not vexed about it. We have paid you, so please deliver. If it means using your head to do it, some can be concerned. It's not as they hate you, but then they can't go bad because of you now. So imagine if I'm a terrible boss. I would have if I called them and I said, ma, I'm giving him a call time of probably 10, but they were there before 8. But I know that this woman is not okay, not feeling too fine. And they practically did the whole job. You see why you must have great interpersonal skill as a planner. You must have it. It's not negotiable. Please, my slide. I don't want to be seeing my face, so I've seen myself enough. My slide, please. Hello? Hello? Slide, please. No, go back. The previous one, the skill. I'm still on the skill part. Okay? Okay, thank you very much. So problem solving, okay? We'll talk about you must be able to solve problem. Oh. There are times on a spot, you do a 360 turn on decision. Not a lot of decision. Because there are things you would have planned, and as a plan, you must have plan A to Z. So as A is failing, you're activating B. As B, you're activating C. You are constantly activating. So you see why I say as a planner, you must be together. You must be patient. You can't be noisy. But if you're noisy, you can get anything done. You need to be together. That's when your head will work. Because there are times because everybody is depending on you. When things are not going right, even the clients will come to you. Any female, what do we do? Normal, what do we do? BC, what do we do? And tell us, what do we do? They will come to you. So you must have solution at every time T. Okay? There will be last minute challenges. They will come. It's not a prayer thing, no. They will come. So when they come, you must be able to rise to the occasion. Then of course, time management. That one is a no-brainer. Because if not, things will just go haywire. If for example, most of these event centers, most of these venues, they have time. So we tell you 6 hours, 8 hours. So if you're not able to plan with time, you find out because for every time you exceed, two things will happen. They can turn off power on you, and nobody likes that. They'll turn off power on you, or you incur more cost for your client. And this, everybody, even Dangote is running from cost. Nigeria as a government, even America, everybody runs from cost. If it's possible to run, and not incur cost, just sit and be enjoying life, and your bank statement is not shaking. Instead, it's going up. Everybody, even me, I want that too. I want to live soft girl life, travel everywhere, and my account balance is not going down. Instead, it's going up. No stress. I wake up and say I feel like being in Toronto. I find myself there. Oh, I feel like carrying uh, Beckham. I just see it. My balance, as I'm doing all these things, so my balance is not going down. Who doesn't want that kind of life? So everybody likes it. Everybody runs from cost. So whatever it is that will make your client incur costs, you also run from it. And most times it starts with time management. So if something is going to happen by 2 o'clock, make sure it's 2 o'clock. Work towards that too. There are times when we have what we call buffer. When you're giving time and you leave a buffer. So if, for example, an event is starting by 3, you could tell people 2 o'clock. You could tell your vendors 12. Because vendors can come and tell you, as we're coming, third mainland. Third mainland, that's where all the cars in this world used to break down. So even if the car breaks down, you have a buffer to absorb that time. So don't go and tell your vendor event starting by 2. You tell somebody that is doing so much of an example to come by 1. It doesn't make sense. So for you now, I don't expect you to know how to do these things. So that I'm saying that after this class, this is just an introduction to tell you what it entails. So you not tell yourself, is this really for me? Is this something I can do? If you see and say, no, this is still what I want to pursue, then you now go further where all these things will be broken down. But to a large extent, I'm going to try and do all of that. Okay? So time management is very, very important. Very important. So if they say we want this place, I want this event shut down by 6 o'clock, work with 5 o'clock. Set your flow to end by 5. Set it to end by 5:30. Okay? Right. So let's go to the qualities. Next slide, please. I've talked about interpersonal skill. I've talked about cool, calm, and collected. You must be cool, calm. You must be collect. You must be. You must be. You must be patient. Now I talked about it. Self motivation. Nobody will know. If you are depending on motivational speakers, you might come face to face with some certain challenges, and at that time you must motivate yourself. Say no, I've seen the end of this event. So nothing can stop me. I always tell my people, once I get an event, I've created an end in my mind. So whatever happens in between, I don't. If it means I've had to sweep an event center, not the entire event center, but I've had to pick up broom and sweep a venue because I know my client is working. And my client can't come in and the place is dirty, and I'll be saying, sir, it's not me, it's the venue owner. How? No. I've had to carry table, I've had to carry chairs, I've had to help lay table cloth, I've had to help do table setup because the job must be done. You're the one with the overview of the day. You're the one. You're the one that knows the start of that event. You're the one that knows the end of it. So whatever happens in between, your client cannot be bothered. They will not be happy to come in and say, "Whole place messed up," and you're saying, "I'm looking for the cleaner." I don't have that time. I'm now speaking for myself. I don't have that time. That's energy. I was say, "Oh manager, where is your cleaner?" I'll just go, where is your broom? That's what I'll be asking for. I can tell my staff, maybe somebody else says, don't you have staff? Don't you? Maybe then I will have told my staff to go and do something else. All hands must be on deck. There was a day we had a baby dedication somewhere in Surulere. The hall is a 1,000 capacity hall. So it was a Sunday. And then we found out that there's a church that also operates there. And they told us the church will close by 11. We had some funny arrangements for decorator to start the day before and all of that story. So the decorator came, did certain things on Saturday. So on Sunday we were there. Do you know it was when it was 11 o'clock? This church refused to close. The whole the venue owners turned off the gen. The church brought their own generator. They went to start up their own gen. 11:30 we got called and the service is over. So guests will start coming. A hall will not done stage. Nothing. I'm telling you, it was crazy. We now had to go in. We almost ranting because then pressure has set in. So for that event, I went with my younger sister. And then when the what they call it now, the church finally finished. You know how technical crew had to roll up they'll do a roll up. We started rolling. Everybody, we were carrying table. Carry. Mr. now stopped me. He says, he said what she said, he said, no ma, now this thing you call, is this what you go through every day you leave the house? I just smiled. For that day, I had planned how we make up. I brought change of clothes, how we change, how I do my hair, how do my nothing. The way I tied my scarf from home was how I tied it from the beginning. I look better today. The way you see me now, I look better, 100%, 100 times better than how I looked that day. It was crazy. Do you understand? So now I've also learned when a client comes and tell me they're having an event in a hall, the church is there, I'll just advise you. Is that we'll shift the date, do it on a Saturday, or we'll move the time. If the church is closed at 11, please let's start the event by 3 o'clock. Do you understand? Or if someone comes and tell me, I'm using a church hall for an event, I will church hall and the worst place to go and do events. Because you cannot chase them out of. You cannot chase them. They'll stay, service will finish. I know when service finishes, it's like there are some gists that are always sweeter when the service is over. So some members can even drive them out. So all of these things will affect your work. And because they are not your guests, you can't even use your mopole and say you want to drive them because it is their place. You have paid for it, yes, but you will take ownership, as it were, when they vacate the place. Do you understand? So all of these things I'm telling you now comes with experience. So at that point, at the time, I will motivate yourself for. I say, this thing has to be well. Oh. This thing must happen. Oh. Nothing can change the mentality and the vision you have of how you want that event to end. So you have to be self-motivated at that time. And of course, you must be flexible. You are not, as it was in the beginning, it's not ever shall be. You're not God. Even God self changes. So you can't even say, this is how I am, this is how I was created, this is how I was made. It will not work. As a planner, you must be very flexible. You must be willing to bend. But you won't bend and lose yourself. No matter how I bend, I cannot become a lesbian. No matter how I bend, I cannot start doing homosexuality. It will not. Do you know what I'm saying? That's by flexibility and not losing yourself. No matter how I bend, I cannot become a man. I can never become a man. No matter how I bend, I must be true to the value of my business. I'm be true to myself. I will not still change. I will not do something that will say because I want to be flexible to please my clients. I will not do something that people will look and say, this is Alessa. We don't know Alessa to be like this, so no. Okay? But then you're also not so fixated and say that I can't. No. My no is my no. My yes is my yes. There are times you have to just a little sway here, a little sway there. But make sure in all of it, you're not found wanting, you don't compromise, and you don't lose yourself, the essence of your business and your brand. Okay? I hope I'm making sense. So I'm not even seeing the comments. I don't know. I hope are we on the same page? Because I want someone to tell me something. I know we might not be able to speak. I'm not seeing the comments. Come to the next slide, but I would like a confirmation that we're together and I'm making sense. Okay. Switch. Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay, Esther. Thank you so much. Okay, so next slide, please. 1 hour gone already. Be serious. So that's one to the event to see talk story. I would have sincerely loved this class to be a physical class, but I'm sorry we couldn't have it because I had the event then. Please, next slide. Next slide. 1 hour gone already. We have less than 1 hour to go, and there's still so much to do. Please, next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so your role as a planner is divided into two: client consultation and concept development, then the event coordination and management. Okay, so as a planner, you have two roles: client consultation and concept development. Okay, so if you look at the picture below, you're seeing some drawings. So this is like architectural drawing. So these drawings is what you work on, and it becomes a house that now has a key. So you remember when I told you that the client just gives you the idea of what they want to do, what they have in their mind. So you're the one that takes it and gives it life or flesh it out. And in this case, it becomes a house, right? Okay, so okay, thank you, Jiro. So after that is done, event coordination and management. So it's not just enough to give flesh to that dream that been handed over to you. You also coordinate and manage the day. So coordination is on that day what's happening, all the things happening for that day, every activity that has been planned for that day. You're going to manage it. You're going to coordinate it. You will not have DJ and live band playing at the same time. That's the coordination and management part. You're not going to have guests stand on their table. Some are sitting, some are standing. No. You're not going to have all the guests come with their plate and their pot from home to take food from the caterer. No. You're not going to have them at the center, at the food court, asking for food. No. Do you understand? So as a planner, you are when you give life to these drawings, to this dream, to this thing in the head, you take it there, you flesh it out, it becomes life, becomes a building. So what goes on inside the house? What goes on? You won't say because I'm the one that built the house. You say I built it for my children. So your son can wake up in the morning and go and put in the parlor and it's okay because it's his house. No, you also go. There's coordination. You're going to say, okay, yes. Once you come, this is the door. This is the living room. This, that. That's the coordination. You're going to manage. Yes, that's restroom. You just you put there, you will be there. That's the washroom. You take your bath in this place. That's the dining. No, you can't do your homework on the dining. You do your homework in the library. There's a library. You do it there. So after eating, go to the library and do your homework. You cannot come to the dining and say after eating, because it's my house, I'll start washing plate on the table. No. You eat here, take it back to the kitchen, wash it. And because I wash the plate, I leave it in the sink. No. I dry it here. Do you understand? Oh, this is the fridge. Oh, there's no light. The weather is hot. So let me go inside the fridge and cool off. No, you can't do it. Go and wear something. Wear spaghetti. Remove the black you're wearing. There's no light. There's no sun to probably get the inverter or solar charged. That does not mean because of that. I will offload everything that is in the fridge. The fridge or the freezer is the only place that is the only cool place in this house. Offload it. Let me go inside. Ah, I don't want heat to kill my children. No, let me go up inside the fridge. You will not do that. So that's where the coordination and the management aspect of the event planning comes. So you not say because the guests they are hungry, they've not eaten since morning. So let them go to the caterer's point. Caterer just give them food as they come. No, you're still going to coordinate it. This server will take care of this line. Guests will take only one meat. I cannot come and say, my doctor say if I don't eat 3 meats a day, I will die. We are sorry. This is an event. We budgeted 1 meat per person. So the extra two, you can go to Tank and Tommy and go and buy it. Or you can go to TFC and go and buy it. Do you understand? You're not going to say because I'm the one I do, let the client know die, and they'll say it's our no, So that's the coordination and management part of a planner. So it's still on you to make sure that now I told you in the beginning, it's on you for everybody to behave. But unfortunately, we know now, not everybody is normal even at an event. It's not possible. Now, just like driving, I say every driver, because they're going to a driving school, that means they know how to drive. It's a lie. Not everybody see on the road knows how to drive. And not all of them are sane. Even the ones that know how to drive, they are not sane. So you always tell us in driving school, when you're driving, drive as if you're the only sane driver. Every other person is insane. You always be told that in driving school. So that's the same thing with planning. So when you host event, I always tell my people, I'll tell my hostesses, there'll be abnormal people who attend this event today, but you cannot be abnormal with them. Some people naturally are just troublemakers. No matter where you see them, they look for they are troublemakers. So you won't say because people are troublemakers, you too, I'm ready for them. However they want it, I'll give it to them. You can't. Unfortunately, you cannot. You can't give it to them however they want it though. You will take whatever they give you with smile and with love. Even if I'm bored because if they leave me and you here, I can beat you. But you can't do it. As a planner, you'll be smiling and be so sorry. But there are extreme cases where you have probably guests, maybe fight or slap or beat. No, at that time, we have what we call contracts. In your contract, you have stated it and told your clients, I said, well, if your guests, the abnormal ones, so call and they take the abnormality and probably hit any of my staff who walk out of the event. Do you understand? So you have things like that in the contract. Okay? So that covers you. But you can't go and be fighting client. There are times where you see even hostesses, waiters. Sometimes you clients slap people. My coach had an event, I think early this year. And she was telling me her coordinator, is it Bryce's mom, slapped the coordinator. Coordinator said when he slapped him, he saw stars. Oh, but what can you do? Do you understand? No, sit back, go back. Okay, so that's the thing. So that your roles, I've explained the two roles. I've just used examples of our in our home and all of that, just so that you'll see the difference, in giving life to an idea and then managing the event. Okay, next slide. Okay, so BTS, that's some of the things that happen back end that people don't see for you as a planner. So we have proposal and pitching. Proposal is so people can come to you. Probably you have an Instagram handle. Somebody hears that, oh, TLC is not an event planner. It's okay, TLC, okay, oh, I have a wedding, blah, 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 blah. Or my company is doing their third year anniversary. Can you send a proposal? And you go, you do your research and all of that, do proposal and forward. Sometimes you pitch. So there might be 2, 3 people bidding for a particular job. So you pitch and all of that. So nobody sees all that. It's BTS. So you do that. When they finally say, oh, TLC, we're going to go with you. You're going to be a planner for this event. Next thing is now client onboarding. You have to onboard your clients now. Onboarding means they will have paid, they'll pay your commitment fee. They pay to say, oh, yes, we've agreed to go with you. Just like when you go to open an account. If you open an account, you can't use on zero balance. You must put money inside. That's commitment to show that, yes, I'm the one. I was not forced to do this thing. So that's client onboarding. That's the client is, you're telling the client, okay, welcome to TLC and any format events. Welcome. So they pay their commitment to say, yes, we are with you. You're the one that will handle this our wedding. You're the one that's going to do this 30th anniversary. Welcome. So contract the terms of engagement. So now we look at it. What's going to guide us? It's not just do it as you like. They can't wake up this morning and say, TLC, I'm sorry. That I said we wanted 12 inches screen. We want to use 70 inches now. You can't do that. So you have to draft contract and say, this is what I will do. This is what is expected of you. For me, as your planner, I will do this. I will do that. You list it. Then you, as my client, I'm expecting this from you. I'm expecting. So at least everyone look at it and say, okay, yes, this is what we have agreed on. That's part of onboarding. This is what we've agreed on. We're okay. Everybody appends their signature, and that's when you have a working contract. And that's when you can say, yes, I'm the one planning this. You don't assume. Don't because your neighbor is getting married. You know, say, I have an event to my neighbor's event, I'm the planner. Who says who? Who told you? Until there is some agreement, you cannot assume that you're the planner. So to avoid stories that touch, it's better we have a document. Let's have an understanding. And everybody knows, oh, this is what we are doing. This is what's in the relationship. You cannot just meet a boy in that is club or in the church. Boy, maybe the boy sits beside you every day in church. You just assume, he's always looking out for seat for me. That means there's something in your mind. And maybe the poor boy, his mind is clean. There is no agreement. You cannot go and tell people, me and Brother Mika, we are getting close. How? Because people sit down together every day in church. Is that enough to say that's a relationship? No, it's not enough. Okay? So there must be some level of agreement. Yes, so Sister Amaka, I like you. Oh, Brother Mika, me too, I like you. Okay. So let's see how this thing will go. We'll go out to where there's agreement. So tomorrow I can come out tomorrow as Amaka and say, yes, so me and Emeka we are dating because there is an agreement. It's not enough because me and Emeka we sit together for 1 year. We have been sitting together in church. We'll just assume that that is something is brewing here. Nothing is brewing anywhere until there is an agreement. Okay, then you will do some sourcing, vendor, venue, depending. Some clients will tell you not to bother. Maybe they'll probably have all their vendors. You just come in and do the management. Some might not even have at all. So you have to go and source for them in line with the brief. In line with the brief. Okay? So if they've told you it is 1,000 guests and your sister or your mom cooks family dinner for 10 people and the rest is always you, you're going to assume that your mom that cooks for 10 people can cook for 1,000 people. It's not the same thing. Please, in line with, if they come and say it's a private dinner for 10, it's okay to call your mom to come and cook because your mom has done it over time. She has been for 10 people almost every Sunday, and it's always fantastic. So it's okay if they're having a private dinner for 4 or 5 and say, I need a caterer. And I say, I have a fantastic chef. You call your mom. But not when they say 1,000 guests, you go and call your mom that cooks only for 10. That's a disaster. That's recipe for heart heart wrenching disaster. Okay, so make sure wherever vendor you're using has to be in line with the brief that you have. Very important. Okay. Then negotiations and budgeting. We talked about budgeting, right? So if a client meets you now, every client have things that are important to them. For some people, food. For some people, drink. For some people, the decor. For some people, what they are wearing. For some people, the memories. So when I talk about memories, I mean photography, videos. For some people, guest experiences. So these are the things that will guide you in preparing budgets. So if I come as your client and I say, I want my decor to be drop dead. That's true. That's true. If my budget is 2 million, I'll be willing to spend 1 million for my decoration. If it's food, if I'm a food person and I want everybody to know, if you go to this lady's house, you will chop die. So that's my feeding people is important to me. So if my budget is 2 million, I can send her to even do decor and then use all that money for food. So whatever is important to the client, and the only way you can find it is when you listen. So when your client is speaking to you, let me go back to communication again. That's not the time for you to start looking at your phone. That's not the time to be distracted. That's not the time to check your time. To start with, that's very wrong. If you're in a meeting with somebody, checking time is like telling them, can you please round up? And that's very rude. So before you schedule a meeting, be thorough. You can let the person know, okay, meeting, I want us to have a meeting. Please, I can spare 1 hour because I blah blah blah. We could start. I will need to run off for another meeting. Then we could conclude maybe virtually. And when I'm done, is that okay by you? That's very polite. Then I say because the person has said we must have meeting. Then okay, let's have the meeting. You have to start. You even come late for the meeting. That one is another kettle of fish. You cannot go. You can't as a planner. You don't talk about time management. So even coming to meetings, you must arrive before your client. You can't have a meeting with your client. They are seated and they're waiting for you. It's wrong. You should be seated and waiting for them. And I hear people tell you have traffic. That's traffic in Lagos is not no man, it's not an excuse. If you come and tell me there's traffic, it's not an excuse. If you come and tell me the road is free, I drove from Festac to Lekki in 20 minutes. That's a wonder. But I drove from Festac to Lekki in 7 hours. It's not news because that's how Lagos is. Do you understand? So traffic is no more an excuse. It's outdated, so don't even use it. If your meeting is going to happen by 8, nothing stops you from leaving home by 5 o'clock. Please. Get there on time and sit down and be waiting. Okay? 2 or 3 years ago, I had a meeting with a client. I think they came from Canada. You know, I left home early that day. God knows. I left home very early. So we got to the place and I was late. Oh Jesus. And the woman kept saying, "You should have told me you're in Nigeria." I was hot. I apologized throughout that meeting. So it didn't make it worth it anymore. I was upset with myself. And really, I left home early. But because I assumed I left home too early, I was riding with my husband. So I followed him to where he was going to. And we ran into traffic. So if I had gone straight from home, I wouldn't have. When I had the second meeting for 10 o'clock, these people still came before me, but I did not come late again. But they were still very early. Do you understand? So that one, I didn't have to apologize. But still, my plan was to get there before them, but they still got there before me. So time is very important. For some people, I've heard people say they lost jobs because they did not come on time. One of my online mentors, she came just a few minutes late. And man said, if I have to wait for you, then you're not fit for this job. And that man guy stood up and left. And that's it. She didn't get that job. So please train yourself. Yeah, but train yourself now. Don't ever give that excuse. Everybody will come the same time now. Must I be on time? No, I must be on time. Use it and train yourself. So I worked in when I was in my 9 to 5, where I worked. You can't go late. We have a meeting there's this meeting we do every week, every month. Sorry, for 2 3 days. That's what we do that meeting. We start 8 in the morning. Sometimes we finish as late as 10 11 p.m. You go the next day and you resume, and it's always on the island. For those meetings, I don't sleep on the bed. I don't want story. So when I come back from day one, I sleep on the couch in my sitting room. There was a day I slept on the couch and I overslept. When I woke up, all I could do was just to brush in I didn't take my bath that day. You can't be late. So if you're late, this is a consequence. When you come in, you'll be seeing your executive directors, you'll be seeing your CEO. So they are seated and you're coming in. So the mental picture they have of you, that one's aside. And God help you, you're not even meeting your target. So it's a financial sector. You're not meeting your target. That's where they'll start from. They say that because you come late, that's why you don't meet target. That's by the way. Then as you're entering for coming late, you're providing account number, they're debiting you online for coming late. So you're fighting many demons already. You come late, your group head will be looking at you and typing your query. Your CEO is there. So all the odds that are against you is better. Let it be that the only offense you're committing is that you're not meeting budget, or not that you're coming late. So that's how I was trained. So I'm always conscious of it. And also I don't like coming late. So because of that, I don't also tolerate lateness. So you can actually train yourself. And when we go for that meeting, we sit down. You can sit for 3 straight hours. You will not stand up. When my CEO comes into that event, once he comes into the room, forget it. Running stomach we cease, I bet you. We sit down and we listen. It's just like the army. So don't ever say because they see that you must stand up. Some people can just stay still for a meeting. They're there, they'll be doing they'll eat. They're even like, where's my barrel? They'll be like this. Like this. Train yourself to sit, be still, and listen. You know what happens when you're still, like it's training. It's training. My daughter, she's very restless. I told her one day we tie your hand, tie your leg, tie you to a chair. And let me say something. My daughter cannot stay in one place. So she said she's touching your hand, she's touching. Oh Jesus. So I understand. So you need to train yourself. What happens when you're still is that every part of you is quiet. Even your spirit will be quiet. But it takes a lot of intentionality to get to that, and you need it as a planner. Because there are sometimes you get clients that not everything is said with mouth. Sometimes body language, sometimes the eye, sometimes you watch your environment. But if you as a person you're busy already, how will you notice the noisy environment? How? How will you notice it? Do you understand? So it's very, very important, okay? Negotiating budget, vendors meeting and management. It's very important to meet your vendors. Whether you're the one that don't ever assume I know this vendor. We've known ourselves, we're born together. You must have a meeting with your vendors. Very important. Coordination, of course. We've talked about coordination on the previous slide. Then post-event evaluation. It's always good you have a post-event, either with your client or with your team. What did you do well? What did you do well? So from there, you know where we've messed up and where we can do better. Okay, so these are some of the things that happen back end for event planners, event planning an event. No matter the kind of event, corporate, social, festival, there's always an evaluation. Because if you don't evaluate what you've done, there's every tendency that the next one, the errors, you know, of this present event might just repeat itself again. But if you have evaluation, you can say, okay, this is what we did right, this is what we didn't do so right. What should we have done? So that next time we have it at the back of our mind. Remember that time. And so when you're starting again, when you're launching for another event, I say, the last time we use only 2 people as coordinators. So we said we're going to use 3. So please, it has to be 3. Let's even see the difference. Will it make a difference? Will it make a change? Are we going to do better? So you keep evaluating. Keep evaluating. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. So this time for questions. Yeah. So I'm all ears. Questions, anyone? Questions, anyone? So, no, please, if anybody can, anyone can see the questions, if there's any, if you can read out for me, I would appreciate. I can't see the comments. I'm seeing the comments drop. Adefio, you're arriving before time is key. Yes. Train yourself. Don't ever take this mentality of traffic day now. Don't bring yourself up that way. And don't bring your team up that way. No. It's possible to be early, and it's a good thing. Once people know that you can be trusted time wise, they will give you things to do. So that can be your mantra. We're always on time. It's very good. It's very good. So that organization where I worked, that was training then. Then when I was pregnant, when we go to do sometimes we arrive at client's place by 5 a.m. So you can, when would I have left home? For me to arrive at your house 5 a.m. That's training. They don't want to know. Don't do because I'm pregnant. You can now, like, pregnant or not. They tell you pregnancy is not sickness. That's what he used to tell us then. So he also shapes your mentality. I know that when I give birth, when I give birth and I'm in pain and all of that, my husband will tell me, Alabaru in the market, they'll give birth in the morning and they come out in the evening. He's not saying, he's just saying, these things there, it's just your mind. It's just your mind. You work on your psyche and it helps you. I'm not saying it's not the same for everybody. Of course, there are times you give birth, but there are certain times things happen. I know you just can't help it. But let it not be a norm with you that you always come late. Let not be a norm. When they want to set time for something, say you know say she will come late. Move it back by one hour. You know this person will come. That they already know you are. It's not a good thing at all. Let them know that this person doesn't come late. Then when you not come late, people make an excuse for you. What would have happened? It's unlike how she me. People that know me, they know me with timing. They say, you will be timekeeper. The whole funny names, but it's okay. It's okay. All right. So please train yourself to always be on time. It's very good. It's very good. So even when you start off to do your own event business, your staff, that's your staff will see that's a structure you're putting in your business. So when your staff they know we are meeting a client by 7, maybe they'll train by 7:30. Madam don't reach since 7. Madam has been here since 7. Once twice, they'll just know. Madam does not go late though. You can't be late for this meeting. When she says her meeting is 7, it's 7 o'clock. Okay. Question. If you don't have question, let's move. Okay, Nifome. Yeah.
My goodness, I'm so okay. I see. Rosemary, your question is not clear. A situation whereby budget has been approved, but as a result of inflation and price fluctuation, there's a sudden price increase on certain items, probably as a result of clients' slow release of funds. Okay, how do you handle such price increase?
Okay, so you let the clients know. I understand what you're trying to say. Let the client, but it's always very rare. So this because of how the economic situation is currently in Nigeria, everybody knows. So most times when clients give you their invoices, they always tell you it's valid for 1 week, valid for 2 weeks. They'll tell you, and especially in caterers, most time it's caterers. So they'll tell you. So I have some caterers now that will tell you they won't give you invoice until you're ready to pay. Say because they don't want a situation where they'll give you take the invoice and travel and come back in 6 months' time. Of course, it can't be the same. It can't. Do you understand? It can't. So when a client tells you this is valid for, let the client know this invoice is valid for so and so time. Even when you go to take loan, they'll tell you. Even when you want to sign an offer letter to collect loan, they'll tell you the terms and condition is valid for 2 weeks, 14 days. That's how it is. So if they don't hear from you in 14 days, you cannot sign it and bring it back. And they can tell you, no, terms has changed. 14 days has expired. So Rosemary, when you have such, when it comes up and the client and the vendors come back to you and say this has happened, please let the client know. So two things will happen. The client can choose to pay the difference, or they'll tell you no. When they say no, that means there's going to be a refund. So if there's a refund, you gotta look for another vendor that can work with that budget. Okay. So most times when you have things like this, client wants to pay, I will contact the vendor. Hello, ma, please confirm availability for that day. One, you won't just assume because you're giving me invoice that you're there for me for life. It's not true. It's not true. Even me, I've cancelled before on the week of an event. Do you understand? So anybody can cancel for any reason. So before you commit money, money, once money enters somebody's account, it's very difficult to come out. I don't know why. It's easy to entry, is easy. Exit is a problem. So because you don't want to before then I say, hi Uniform, please confirm availability for so and so date. We want to make payment on this invoice. And if you kind of say, don't make things don't go up, I can't take it. Do you understand? Okay, please share a revised invoice. You cannot go back to your client and say, okay, this invoice you want to make payment on is no more valid. This is what it is now because of this. You can decide to negotiate with anything. Say anything, please. I know I understand what you're saying. Blah 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 blah. Negotiation skill. I understand what you're trying to say. I know inflation, but please accommodate us. Blah blah blah. And if I can now say, okay, I will give you a discount. So she has indirectly told you. So in case you're coming next time, you won't come with the mind of the food there was 5,000. She has told you now it's 6,000, but she's giving you a 1,000 naira discount, making it fall back at 5,000. I don't know if I'm making sense, Rosemary. Okay, so make sure you negotiate. Don't just say because the price increase, just go back to your client and say, okay, price has gone up. It's not working. Try and speak to that vendor. That's where the negotiation, that's where the relationship comes to play now. So, but if you've tried and they say no, they're insisting, this is what it is now, I can't. You cannot go to your client and say, this is what it is. However, I've reached out to this person, and they say they can accommodate us for that date at this. So you're not just going back with a problem. Say, guys, see, because you did not pay on time, this one has gone up. No, but now you're going back, because we didn't pay on time, it has gone up. But 1, 2, 3, say they can still accommodate us at that. So you can now say, okay, no, I'm not comfortable. No problem. Let's pay the difference. Thank God. Thank you so much. But these other people that are going to accommodate us, can you vouch for them? Are they also good? You can say yes. If you put it, you can vouch for. If you can't vouch for, you can say, okay, let me ask questions. Okay, I've also asked questions, and they said this person is good. This person, things like that. So you're not just going back to the client with problem at that point. We're telling him, okay, there's an issue, but I have solution on ground. So we have solution on ground. So he's the one that will not choose. Should we still go on with this person at that rate, the new rate now? Or let's shift base to this person that can take us at that rate. Okay, Rosemary, hope
Oh,
you understand.
wow. I just need to talk at this point. I don't know whether we are feeling what I'm feeling, but I just want us to affirm in the comments one word for this training. And I'm going to say my own, right? First of all, this has been so phenomenal. And I really want us to appreciate our facilitator. It's one thing for someone to teach, it's another thing for someone to impart knowledge. It's the relatability for me. It's the way the teaching is being done in a way that even a novice can understand. I mean, when you explained about brief, I'm like, this is so explanatory. Everything the client is saying, everything the client wants to achieve, as they are saying it, is a brief. And then when you use the analogy of the dry bones coming back to life and how an event planner is supposed to give life, this is live again, giving life, and I'm a life giver. So it resonated so well with me. And I just want us to drop in the chat, how has this been for you? I want us to drop it in the chat before I take the other lines of questions. Drop in the chat, what is that one thing that has hit you since she started speaking, right? And how has the training been so far? Because for me, I'm just really enjoying it. And I see the hand of the Lord in selecting all the facilitators because it's been like that for everyone. I want to say thank you. Even when you mention training yourself, I always tell people that if you don't build yourself, if you are not built as a person, if you are not a put together person, anything you do, it will affect it. So when you kept hammering on being put together, deal with yourself, train yourself to be patient, you're not doing it for anybody. When we say life has thrown things at you or things have happened to you, but take those things and build and begin to develop yourself, we know what we're saying. Personal development is critical. And as you can tell from what she's saying, it's not just a regular event management, come and train. She's giving you experiential knowledge. She's telling you things that you would only hear from someone who's been there and done that. And that I think is priceless because we need to sit ourselves down and not be people of excuses. When she spoke about traffic no longer being an excuse, that's spot on. This training is rich because it's not only teaching you event management. If you listen very well, it will help you with life. And so for me, I'm just so grateful that you have, that you're teaching this and you are just giving of yourself. There's so much. I'm waiting for the comments. Rosemary says it's superb. Kola Wale says, well done, Ma. Edith Young says, very in-depth expose. So tell me one thing, right? She's not going to continue until you type one thing that she said that hits you. She's not going to continue. So I have four questions, I think. One, two, three, four. I have four questions. And I won't take the questions until we type in one thing. Because, sometimes we attend trainings, oh, it's deep. But when you share that thing that has hit you, it retains more in your brain. Because you might go home now, you eat a bar, or you drink juice, or you take parfait, your children will shout, your husband, if you don't have a husband, you might go to work, come back, and you just forget. So I want us to type in what has hit us, okay? Someone says intentional self-discipline. Good. It is so critical. Do you know, I even tell my kids when they come and say, Mommy, there's a problem. I ask them, okay, so what is the solution that you have for this problem? What can you learn from this? We have to train ourselves to be problem solvers. We complain so much of problems. I like when she said, don't just complain about the problem. Go to the client with a proposed solution. Your client will respect you more. Can I tell you something? Everything you've been through is coming together to form your knowledge and experiences. As a civil engineer, some of you don't know that I am an event MC. As an event MC, I work together with the event planner to ensure that her vision for that event and the vision for the client comes to pass. So sometimes I'm thinking on the spot, all my engineering experience, everything, problem solving, analytical skills, even resilience, everything comes to play. I bring everything, all my experiences to come and do that event. So when she's talking and she's telling you problem solving, self-discipline, all these things she's saying, if you are not a person that is intentional, she used that word a lot of times, intentional. And that is what the Live Again movement is about. Yes, life may have knocked you down, something might have happened to you, all of that. But you have to be intentional that I will live again. I will give in my best. The rest of my years will be the best of my years. I really love this training. I love the way she is explaining everything, that how you can give life to an event. And if you don't have life in you, how do you want to give life to an event? So I'm just going to take this other one and then we'll go back to, okay, this person is asking a question also. Okay, so let me ask a question. How many, all the people that are here, everyone that is listening to me, Is it only a Did Young Gem that has one thing that they are taking away from this event? If it's only a Did Young Gem, we will just say, thank you so much, facilitator. You've done well. Come and be going. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. I am going to wait. What is that one thing that hits you when she was speaking? I've shared a lot, and I'm not even training to be an event planner, but I've benefited so much from this training. So tell me that one thing. So Ofonime is asking, that's number 5 question. So only question you people want to ask. You don't want to type in that one thing that you've learned. So we're going to sit here. Norma, I don't know how much time you have, but we're going to wait for those comments. Okay, I'm seeing them now. Keep dropping them until I see at least 5 of those comments. We're not going to move. We are not going to move because we want to make sure that you're getting it. And I'm going to speak to our facilitator to give some people the opportunity to mentor with her. I'm going to speak to her. So I'm going to select, if depending on number that she chooses, choose one or two, whatever it takes to speak with her. Because the plan is that we will still have opportunity to see her, speak with her. Even that physical thing, she might be in an event and she might just give opportunity to one person, come and join me in this event. You never can tell. So for all of you that are silent people that will just come and just chop and clean out and go. But I see that Ejiro Antonia has been very, very, very engaging here. So I don't know, she might end up being the person. Okay, I see Rosemary Okonkwo, effective communication and being a good listener. Okay, splendid. Wow, thank you. I really appreciate you, Ma. Okay, Ige Esther, what is the one thing that you appreciate about her training? Kolawole Juliet says, be a good listener with your clients. Okay, I'll take 2 more and then we can jump back into the questions. I'll take 2 more. I'll take 2 more. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Ejiro Antonia, what is that one thing? What is that one thing? Ige Esther, what is that one thing? Ofoni made I asked the question, what is that one thing? She's going to answer your question, but drop it in the chat. That one thing that you're taking away. I have said a lot that I've taken away. I want to see yours. We are going to sit down here until you drop it. Only Rosemary is typing, flexibility, but do not bend over negatively. Rosemary is the one typing what she has taken away. Maybe we can switch to Rosemary for that mentorship. It's possible. Drop it in the chat, please. I'm here. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for you. Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. That one thing you're taking away. That one thing you're taking away from this session. It's been mind blowing. I'm just so grateful. I'm very grateful for this. And while you're at it, please follow alessa.suave.events. That's the IG handle of our facilitator. That's her business page, right? Follow alessa.suave.events. Also follow, my handle is Anyfome Speak, so you can follow me. I share a lot of tips on living again and I keep you inspired for those who are on their journeys and they need that fire. Follow Live Again Outreach because we have several things that we post there that are coming up that you might want to benefit from or share with people. Also follow the Live Again Foundation. Okay, back to the comments. Great interpersonal skills is paramount. Okay, Edith Young Gem. Taiwo says, I really appreciate the way she talked about being punctual. And then Adefioye says, 100% simple and clear to manage the time very well. Thank you. I'm satisfied now. So we can go to the questions. Okay, so Faith is asking, can you see the question? Or should I read them for you?
When having a meeting with the wait, I'm not saying okay, wait. When having a meeting with the vendors, do we meet the vendors separately? Okay, no, vendors meeting is all your vendors. Every vendor at the venue. That's what we call vendors meeting. Then you also let your clients know. Your clients will come or they'll send maybe a stakeholder. Stakeholder is someone that is vested in that event. So if it's a wedding, the bride and groom might not be present. Maybe their mom, the mother of the bride, mother of the groom might decide to come, or their sister, their brother, but somebody that is interested or that has a say in that event to be there. Why? So that we see the people that will work for them on that day. Do you understand? So that if there is comments, probably if there are some there have been some miscommunication, sort of. So at vendors meeting, this is what happens. Every vendor does a presentation. They will tell you who they are and what they are doing for you on that day. It's possible you had it in mind that it's 100 small chops. Vendor corner, they say, I'm doing 50 small chops. Or in your mind, in your mind, as a planner, you've told the client, our small chops is going to be with chicken. That day, vendor comes and says it's with gizzard. Chicken and gizzard are protein, but they are not the same thing. Do you understand? So that's what happens at vendors meeting. You talk about these things. You can say, oh no, it's not gizzard, it's chicken. I say, really? Okay, I'll go back to my invoice. So we iron out all these differences. That's one. Then two, they get to know where the event will happen. Sometimes now, I will keep using Lagos. Things happen. Don't leave Google, because Google can even lead you into the ditch. So, but if you attend vendors meeting, that's when you will find out that the road A has closed. There's a road C, there's a road B. So sometimes when I have my own vendors meeting, I will ask, like, the gatesman, how do you come to work? Because I know the gatesman will not drive. So there's no Google map inside this matter. So you gatesman goes, you enter to CMS, you take Kurope to this place. Do you understand? So I write that out and I post it. Because not every vendor has a car to come for that vendors meeting. So that way you have also been, you have also been of value to them even before the event day. That's one. Then two, the gatesman you ask will also feel important. Let me give madam direction. So by asking that question, there's like a relationship. So in the mind, because you approached him or her, there was a conversation. So on that day of the event, it will be easier for you to walk up to that person and say, guy, please help me do this thing. And he or she will do it. Than on the event day, that may be the first time you talk to that person. You now start romancing first. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. So vendors meeting is when you talk about all of these things. You see what is obtainable. You see what they have. The roof is leaking here. Hey, I'm seeing one cockroach that place. Oh, the room is smelling. This is not what you see everything. And then don't ever assume that you have attended events in a place as a guest. It's not the same thing when you're a planner. Because the things you will see as the organizer, you will not see as a guest. That's why you can look for, as a guest, what's your business with exit point and entry point? You know when they tell you this is where you enter from, go out from this place. But when you're a planner now, you're going to check the restroom. How many for male and female? As a guest, what's your business with how many restrooms do they have? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So these are the things you iron out during vendors meeting. That's when you will check. What will I put here? I'm thinking like a wedding planner now. That's when you will check a changing room and notice that the AC is somehow, or the place is stenched, or the chair, you now prepare yourself. You can decide to say, oh, I will bring my own air freshener that day. Oh, I have scented candles. I will burn this room of my bride, of my groom. Do you understand? You already know that this place has, because you don't want to argue, because the if you leave hall managers or event facility managers, their room is always okay. The hall is perfect. AC is always working well. So if I know that if I had come for my vendors meeting, if I had visited the place earlier before, I can tell what I'm not seeing. And because I don't want too many English language, buy, don't buy. I will give you, I will not give you. I will come with my own. I can decide to come with my own air freshener that day. I can come with a scented candle. I think when I visit to my clients, probably maybe in the course of our meeting, one of those days I visited their home, and I noticed that they burn incense. What stops me from getting an incense and putting in their room? That's an experience. You didn't need to ask them. You came, you noticed. You can even ask them, what's this fragrance? I don't like incense. I feel it's too strong for me. But if I have a client that likes that, we do it. I pretend. I say, oh, this is so nice. Just because I want to get it, and probably for your own room, I'll put it that day. And then imagine your bride or your client walking into their changing room and they are feeling at home already because you paid attention. You were quiet enough to notice that they burnt incense and it was this flavor that they used and you put it in their room. What do you think that will do to the memory of that client? Do you understand? Yes, going extra mile. This extra money, it won't cost you so much. That's the funny thing. All of us looking for luxury. I want to look for the most small things. It might just be you notice that there's a particular chewing gum this person choose, or this person likes tea. Anytime you see her, she fits cup. She's always something like this. And maybe you overhear her one day telling somebody, my jasmine tea is almost finished. Though I've told this person when they're coming, they should bring me. And that day on the wedding day, or their event day, you now come with a pack of jasmine tea. What do you think will do to that memory of that person? That's his attention to details. They didn't tell you. But because you were calm, you were together, you were quiet. That's why you noticed. Do you understand? Sorry, I deviated. Sorry. Let me go back to the vendors meeting. So vendor is for every vendor, everybody that has a part in that event will come. Decorator, bouncer, photographer and videographer, if they can come, if there's something you wanted to show them in that place, the MC if it's necessary, DJ, live band, everybody that has something to do on that day. If it's people that do local snacks, even if it's people that do shisha pots, do you understand? Everybody that has a part to play in that in that event must be at that vendors meeting. So sometimes some people will give you excuse. I'll be able to come, no problem. You can send a rep, but send a rep that will also attend that event. If not, what will happen is that you do vendors meeting 2 times. So just appeal to them. No problem. If you can't complete, send a rep that will also be available on the day of the event. So that way, that day, the person will not come again. Don't bring a new person that will come now and just say, ma, please, where are we going to set up? That can make somebody go crazy. But at that point, you in your mind, you've gone past that point. Do you understand? So I don't know if I answered your question. Is it clear? Are you okay with it? So that's for vendors. So everybody is there. Everybody they will know their space. You talk about the call time. When are they expected to come? When are they going to serve? Whatever it is that they say, everything will be relayed that day, so that everybody has an idea of everybody's function. It might not go like that. So if there will be changes, you give them heads up and in good time too. Okay? So that's how we vendors meeting. Next question. Hello. Hope you could hear me, or hope you heard me. Sorry. Should I go to conclusion? No more question.
So there are questions, but interestingly, the comments have gone beyond the questions. So I remember Marianne asked a question. So if you asked a question before, please drop it again in the chat. So I'm only seeing the comments from Splendid. Okay, let me tell my assistant. If I please, check YouTube and type in the questions. There are like 3 other questions. Okay, someone had asked about how to begin. Okay, let me go to this one while we get the other questions for you. There's one that just came in, so you can take this one while we get the other questions.
Adekoyejo Doris, please explain more on contract. Is it going to be written or what? Yes, contract has to be written. Contract it has to be written. No, so everybody will see it. It's not. It won't be in your head or their head. So contract is agreement. That's simple thing. That's what contract is. So some people are afraid of the word contract. So sometimes I use agreement. Sometimes I use terms of engagement, terms of service. All are the same thing. They are all contracts. That's what a contract is, just an agreement. What did I say I will do? What did you say you will do? Under what condition have we said we will do them? That's all. We'll not sign. We'll sign. Say That's to show that we agree to whatever it is that is written here. That's all. That's contract. So it will be written. Doris, is that okay? So you could Google online, you could check for templates for contracts, or you get a lawyer. If you have a lawyer friend that can help you draft, don't make it too voluminous. It's not. How would I put it now? We're not going to a state house with it. Do you understand? Make it as simple as possible, so that when they see it, they want to read it. Do you understand? So basic things that contract must contain your name of your client, date of their event, what kind of event, guest size, venue if possible. Venue, I mean, that if it's in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, is it going to happen in heaven, in the sky, under the sea, beachfront, things like that? You need such, because those are the things that will guide you also in probably bidding them. So those things must be there. Your email address. Sometimes if house address is needed, fine. If you can, if not, no problem. Email addresses, phone numbers of yours and theirs, so that whenever they have that, whoever holds that contract can reach whoever. So they could reach you, you could reach them. Do you understand? So you must have that. Then you now go ahead to state the terms, because you're the one drafting. So you're stating the terms under which you will be working for them. You state all the things you'll be doing for them. You will state all the things that you're expecting from them that will make you do these things that you say you will do. Then the conditions under which these things will be done. Of course, it has to be done while they are alive now. So it's not when you die. You will do it here in Nigeria. If it's going to be a virtual event, you'll be in Nigeria controlling it virtually, but event is going to hold in the US or in the UK, as the case may be. No, there won't be any threats. For those, every vendor that you brought, if they misbehave, you're liable. But if they're the ones that brought the vendor and they misbehave, you're not liable. It's as simple as that. I'll tell my clients, no. I say it's true now, because I don't know the person you're bringing, I don't know where the person is coming from. It might be one herbalist from your place that nobody can talk to. Is it me? Am I the one that will now go and speak to the herbalist? No, now. If you're a juju man, I will try and manage the juju man. But if the juju man cannot be managed, it's not my fault. Do you understand? So you won't blame me, because you brought him or her on board. But if I'm the one that brought the juju man, a herbalist, I will know how to talk to curb that herbalist. There's some people you can't curb except you're the one that brought them. And that's why we have such things in the contract. Me, irrespective of who brings me on board an event, me as a person, once I say I will do something, I go all the way. But everybody's not normal. So some people, it's only the person that brought them that can talk to them. There's some people like that, and that is it. That's how they are wired. No problem. So if the client brings such people wired that way and say they'll only take instruction from the bride or their groom, God bless you, no problem. You just only made my work easier. I won't struggle with you. Me, I will not. I will tell you as a client, this is, please speak to your family to trust us. Because for you to have reached out to me as a planner, I want to assume you would have done your maths and you say, oh, we need help. So let's call this person to help us. So if you're bringing me as a help and you also want to do the help, I will sit down that day as a guest and you will be run. Of course, you will pay my money. Do you understand? So these are the things you need to let the clients know. Please let your family trust us. Let them trust us. Let them believe us. If there's anything they feel they can, let us know. Some family can tell you, okay, no, this auntie will work here, no problem. Let me know the auntie. But there are some things here I will not take. I can't come tomorrow and tell me now, I want to bring my own event. I want to bring my own hostesses. I would say no. I can turn down the job if I want. Because bringing your own hostesses will mean me going to tell them how I run. And I may not have that time. So depending on the kind of event, if it's a private event, I can overlook it. But if it's an event of like 600, 1,000 capacity, and you're telling me I won't work with my own hostesses, I can turn down the job. Because what it will mean, I want to run up and down. Because for all I care, those hostesses might not be trained the way I train my own. But for my hostesses will not be with phones during events. My hostesses will not see the video and go and be touching or want to dance. Maybe your hostesses are trained that when they see A-list, they want to go and take picture. My own hostess will not do that. You can do during after party, but not when the job is on. Do you understand? So I can't go and start your own hostesses. You can't hold your phone. You can size me from up to down and not want to do the job. Then me, I'll not have to run up and down. No, I don't want to do that. Do you understand? When we say if it's an event of like 50, 100, I know that at a corner, I can see the entire space and I know what is happening. Then some things can just go. But when it's 1,000, I will need capable, as I will explain to you, I need people that are capable that run these things. Do you understand? Uh-huh. So that's just it. And all of these things, if there are going to be changes, if I tell you I'm going to work with, for example, I say I need 5 coordinators, you say no, I don't want 5 coordinators. I'll put them on the contract. 5 coordinators were advised. You chose to. I will tell you it will affect delivery. I am not liable. So when they see that, everybody wants, they say, they will do what you want. So make your contract as simple as possible. Very straightforward. Not do section this, section that, thou art. No need. I want 5. I will use 5 coordinators. I will use 10 ushers. 10 ushers because 1 usher to 4 tables. 4 tables is equal to 40 person. That's anybody that looks at it will understand what you're doing. So contract must not be complicated to be a contract. No, it's not. It's just the understanding. Your client understands. We talk about communication. Your client understands. You understand, and everybody is like, once that signature is appended, that means we are good. Then we can go on. Then along the line before the event, there are changes. Please remember, refer to your contract. If for example you say 10 hostesses and it was 500 guests, they now came maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, they said, something happened though, our guest had increased to 800. Automatically that means there'll be increase in so many things. Increase in food, increase in number of hostesses, increase in the number of tablecloths, number of tables, number of chairs. Do you understand? So that's the ripple effect. So you also need to take cognizance of all of those things and let them know. And please effect it. Do a revise this thing. And say following blah blah blah. Then what I need to also say in communication, when you speak to clients, when you call, and you have a conversation, please go to WhatsApp. Go to WhatsApp and say, following our conversation, our telephone conversation, this, right? And they do it like this. That's to say, concur, we're on the same page. Because some people have selective amnesia. Some people these days now put disappearing message. Please, when you put such, anyway, you will know. If you have a dubious client, you will know. So they are dubious and you're chatting, you're munching and keeping. Munch to take dates and time and keep. I'm not saying anybody's dubious, but just protect yourself. You never can tell. We've had instances where we have events and they'll tell you did not snap, they don't share small chops. So when I have such people, I will have a member of my team. I say, just be doing video. Concentration on how when they're serving small chops and people that are eating it. So when you tell me you did not serve small chops, I will not show your uncle when he was eating his small chops. You will not tell me whether he brought it from home. Just understand. But if you're not paying attention, if you're not together, you will not know these things. So when you will have somebody that is troublesome, if you have clients that have troublesome family, it is during planning, during briefing, pre-event, that's when you will know. And that will guide you on what to do on the day of execution. Doris, I hope that answers your question. Next question, please.
So someone is asking, how do they start? Now, having learned all of this, what's the way to actually start and succeed massively as an event planner? So that's one of the questions that we missed. So we have to type it out.
So you have to get trained. That's the first thing. I told you this is just an introduction. This introduction. So you have to get trained. You have to get trained. You have to work with people that have been on the field, because as you work, you learn. Planning, like everything, is work in progress. There is no engineer. There is no one that read civil engineer 10 years ago that will say the what applied 10 years ago is applicable now. It's a lie. Things are changing per second these days. Do you understand? So the only way to keep yourself abreast is, first of all, you have to get trained. Get trained and be a professional planner. That's one. When you're not trained, then subsequently you can take courses, you can now work with people, you can do volunteers. So as you're doing that, you're also getting better before you now start doing your own job. Before you start getting your own personal gigs, you can volunteer to do free stuff. So when you're doing free stuff, if you have, for example, if you have free stuff, you can now chat somebody like me and say, okay, I know I got my friend or my sister is doing wedding. This is what I've done, blah, 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 blah. Please, I need a guide. Okay, so I can come in and say, okay, do this, do that. So now you're doing it yourself. So two things. Me. So if I can either come in and just guide you. Some will say, okay, no, I just don't want the guide. I want you to be there. So that's a different thing entirely. Of course, I will chat for that. But if it's just like a simple guide chat, I'll say, okay, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. Sometimes I get to a crossroad, I say, okay, what do you advise? How do I go about this? Of course, I can offer all of that. I can tell you, okay, do it like this, do it that way. And there's no one response that takes care of everything. So it's per event, per client, per situation. Do you understand? So you're able to navigate all of these things as you do more events, as you go out, as you work with people, you see how they do it, you watch them, you're also learning. So when it comes to you, you now know what to do. So that's it. So the first thing is to get trained, and then you start working. That's it. Just let people know you do a planner now, you're professional, and you take it from there. So it's just one day, one step at a time. It's good you intern. It's very good if you see where you can intern. It's okay, you intern. If you see where you can volunteer, volunteer. And please, don't be in a hurry to call yourself a luxury planner. Don't be in a hurry to want to make me. Don't be in a hurry. I don't think you leave planning school today and you want to be Zafaya tomorrow. It will not. It's not possible because there are things. All I've told you today is from experience. It's not Google. It's not Google because I'm sure if you can go to Google now and say how to be a planner, to tell you. But Google will not tell you what to do when you're faced with a father-in-law that will tell you that they want this drink, don't serve it. Or a mother-in-law that will come and tell you they need one cooler of meat stacked away for their friends that will be coming by 6 p.m. Google will not tell you how to handle it. Do you understand? So these are life examples, what people have done to when they get to that point. So when it happens to you, so you now check you as a person, the people you're dealing with, and then somehow wisdom will come on how to navigate it. Okay, so that's it. I hope whoever asks the question, I hope this is okay. So to succeed massively, you have to be very patient. Don't be in a hurry. This is my 5th year in planning. This is my 5th year. So don't be in a hurry. You have to tell you, you're not in competition with anybody. You're not. It's not a race for the swift. You're not doing any competition or any race with anybody. You're building your brand. There's Coca-Cola, there is Coke, there's Arusi. All of them, they are selling massively. They all have the same color, maybe the same taste. I don't know. Some people can tell the difference between a Coke in plastic and Coke in bottle. I don't know how that happens. Do you understand? But every of these products is selling. Same thing with wine, fruit wine. You have Chandor, JW, but they're all selling. So that's the same thing with planning. Your clients, there are people your personality will appeal to. When they will see you, when you will see them, there'll be a match and they will hire you. That's it. So to succeed massively will take you time. So give yourself that time. Don't be in a hurry. Give yourself that time to grow. Okay? Thank you. As a newbie looking into venture into event planning, what should be prioritized? It's the same thing I just said now. Get trained first. When you train, you look for where you intern. You can intern with people and you take it from there. Don't be in a hurry. Don't put pressure on yourself. That's the problem. So I just feel that because I've trained, or maybe your friend that you went to training school with, for example, the next day he starts getting job. It's not a guarantee that person is succeeding. Some people do jobs. Even there are some non newbies now. that have been in the industry and they are not making profits. But every day they show up. Some people just do things. Let's be them working. Many things you're doing and there's no bottom line. It's a waste of time. How about charging clients? A whole lot of things. So there is no how do I put it now? There's no rule, fast path to charging clients. It depends on a whole lot. So for me, when I started out, I was all my I was all about um, being seen. Let people even know that I know this thing. Do you understand? Because without portfolio, it takes a lot for people to trust you. So then on my WhatsApp, once I see anybody put ring, oh congratulations, I'll just private chat you. I'm here to plan. Oh. You're free. Don't I just want the opportunity to show that I understand this and I can do it. So now from there I graduated to a point where I started charging people 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira, you know. I even got to a point where I charge for 150,000 and I'll feel I'm wicked. In my mind, I was like, "Ah, no, man, this in charge is too much. What are you doing exactly?" That was my growth time. Do you understand? So then I was defending clients in my mind. I won't talk to them. Oh, I won't even send the bill. In my mind, I would just feel I'm being unfair. Because at that what that means is that I wasn't worth that money that time. And I also know that there has come a time where I charge a client 800,000. The client did not come back to me and I did not go back to the person. Because I feel what that person wanted, I deserve that 800,000. So to charge clients depends on you. Depends on you. So for me, what I do, I check the scope, what is expected of me. If a new filmer is having a birthday, 10th year birthday for her child, for 50 guests at Radisson Blue, and Davido is having the same event for his 10th-year-old party for his daughter at Radisson Blue at 50 guests, do you think I will charge them the same thing? They are doing the exact same thing. Exact is the same vendor now, the same decor, everything is the same. Let me even assume it's the same guests. I will not, because Davido will require more attention than any filming because of the kind of people that will come on board. So maybe for Davido's own, I might need to put one hostess per table. Any for me, I can do one hostess for 2 tables or 3 tables. Do you understand what I'm saying? So these are the things that will guide. So the scope of the job is what guides in charging. That's how best I can. I can't come here now and tell you, and tell you this how you should charge. Charge them 10,000. No, that won't work. Some people do by percentage. People that do corporate clients. So if the corporate client comes and say they have 10 million naira, I can tell you, okay, 10% is my charging fee for some people. Some people do by guest size. They'll say between 100 and 250 is 500,000. Between 300 and 500 is 800,000. Some people do that. If that works for you, fine. So, but I don't do that. I charge based on scope, location. So if I'm going to have an event in Aja, there's no way I'll go to Aja that day and come back. I'm going to sleep over. I'll charge you for that. But if I'm having an event in Festac, I'm not. Where am I sleeping? I live in Festac, so I know if I drop from my house to wherever the venue is, I'll get home that same day. So I might not bill you for accommodation or for lodging. Do you understand? So these are the things that will guide you in charge. So when a client reaches out to you, you ask the important questions. You put all these things down. What do I need to execute this brief? You've written it down. That's from your own part as a planner now, not decorator. No, your own. I will need to make calls. I need to hire coordinators. I will fuel my car. I will go to the venue like 10 times before the event. You write all those things down and attach a cost to each. How much will you pay yourself? How much do you think? What is told to take on you? How much are you paying your coordinators? So when you add all these things together, from there you arrive at something and then it will guide you. So that's all I can say about charging the client. Is it a must for event plan to manage the food or the event place alone? Or it depends on I don't understand, please. Adefioye, he said, is it a must for event plan to manage the food? Who will manage it now? It's not a must. Anyway, if the client say they have somebody else, you still manage, because you need to make sure that everybody at that event gets to eat. So technically, you still have to manage. You manage food. Even they say it's their auntie that is cooking, that is doing everything, no problem. You still need to monitor to ensure that it's only one family that is eating. Only the food doesn't go to only one table. Event place alone. Okay. What are the common mistakes beginners make in event planning, and how can it be avoided? They're always in a hurry. That's a mistake. You assume you know it all. You assume I've gone to school, or I read, I have Google and all of that. They don't want to be trained. They don't want to be spoken to. They don't reach out, ask questions. That's it. Those are the mistakes. To avoid it, just look for people that are already doing what you want to do. Reach out to them and learn. Okay. Thank you for this presentation. I've actually learned a lot. Please, can you put us through a bit of costing and pricing? Thank you. I've explained already. I've talked about pricing. I've told you how to do your pricing. Yes. How do you handle such price? We've talked about this. Rosemary Okonko, how do you handle such price increase? I've already answered this question. If I've already answered it. Why I say you let your clients know, but when you're going to tell your client that there's an increase, let him have options. You would have spoken to that client, the vendor that increased. You would have spoken to that vendor that did the increase. Please, can you step down? Can you give us further discounts? Please, a person insists that this is it. The increase has to stand. No wahala. Look out for other vendors that are in the same cadre or in the same level with that person that can still take that old price. Then go back to your client and say, okay, this man we want to use XYZ Ketra has increased and said they can't come down. But we have APC, we have DSE that said, oh, don't worry, I can still take at that price. What is it going to be? So the client can tell you, oh, let's go with XYZ. I will pay the difference. Oh, okay, thank God though. What do you think about the DSE and ABC? Are they also as good? You can say, okay, yes, the person that recommended them is highly, someone that I trust and all of that. We can still go with them, and then the client can decide who wants to play. So that's how you handle such price increase. It's not your headache. You're not the one that increased it. Okay? Like when having a meeting with the vendor, do we meet the vendor separately? Okay, we've answered this. Woo! I think
Oh,
questions.
wow. Yeah, I think you're good to go.
Okay, so
You can move.
these are conclusion. Okay, so these are just things as you start out. So these are, or as you consider planning. So these are things you should have at the back of your mind. Balancing creativity with practicality. There may be constraints in bringing those wow ideas to life. Take note. So the wow ideas you have in your head might not be possible. Maybe it could be funds, it could be space constraints. So don't assume because I've drawn it, I must bring it. No, there's some designs or some things you might want to execute for an event, and then the client has already gotten a venue, and that venue might just be a constraint. You won't be able to execute. Don't bite yourself. Don't hit yourself so hard. Just keep it. Someday in the near future, you execute it. Okay. Budget constraints. I've talked about that also. Clients always want more than their budget. It's normal. Okay. At the point your vendor negotiation. So that's what I talk about budget constraints. So when your client doesn't have so much money to do certain things, your relationship with your vendor that comes to play. So your vendor might decide to, give you some discounts to be able to accommodate that budget. So be open to it. Know that there are budget constraints, and it's not a taboo. It's okay, to have budget constraints. You try and use your relationship with your vendors to manage them. If you cannot, it's not a problem. Let your client know it can be managed, and then look for a way to step down some things, and then so can move forward. Okay, mother nature. No one is immune to weather surprises. Be prepared irrespective of the event venue. So it can rain, cat and dog. We've had times when you rain, even don't as if okay now is rainy season. It's okay, don't have it in don't have it outdoor wedding. You can even have indoor, and maybe thunder will come and lift the roof. So act of God happens. It's one of those things you should also include in your contract. When there is act of God, clients should not come and kill you. You are not the one that was. You can't say, why would you want to send thunder to destroy your own event? Do you know what I'm saying? So please make sure in your contract there's also act of God, to exempt you. Managing multiple stakeholders as their faces differ, so also their expectation. Be clear on your deliverable from the start. Communication. I can do this, I cannot do that. Don't say is and put water in your mouth and it sounds like was. This is what is obtainable. This is what is doable. This is it. This is that. You can decide. You might even know that I can stretch myself a bit. Let that stretch be your surprise to them. Let it be the over deliver, under promise and over deliver part of you. Do you understand? Okay, number 5. Tight schedule and time management. We've talked about it. Timing. Deadlines are non-negotiable. Don't say, you can't have deadline. Deadline cannot be met. Don't judge yourself. Don't use the Nigerian government to judge yourself. Deadlines are non-negotiable. If you put a deadline, it has to be met. Train yourself that way, okay? Always factor in a buffer time. I talked about buffer time. So if it's going to be 3 o'clock, say 2 o'clock, or say 1 o'clock. So you give yourself time. So you're not under pressure. Not when it's starting by 2, you're telling them come by 2. No. Tell them 1:30, tell them 12. So that way you're relaxed too. You understand? Okay. Next slide. See next slide, please. Okay. Last minute changes. Flexibility is your best ally in combating this. As much as possible, have a contingency plan. Till infinity. There should not be any end. And for me, another contingency plan you can have is belonging to an association. So when you start off, there are so many associations you could join. So what that happens is when you're at a fix, you can go to your WhatsApp group and say, I need this, and somebody will come to your aid. Sometimes you might be even be out of town. Sometimes you might be out of town and you will need help with something. Just go to your WhatsApp group. You cannot do this job alone. You can't be an island. So this is not a matter of money now. You can have the money. If you don't have solution, you're your own. Yeah, so apart from the money, your client can be the wealthiest and all of that. It could be something as tiny as a welder to do the chair the bride will sit on. If you don't know how to go about it or who will help you get it, you just realize that day all of a sudden all the welders that they've gone out for a job and they are very far from you. So contingency plan means there is something somewhere that you can activate to make sure that this problem is sorted. And one of them is having an association or having plans or having a register of vendors, especially all these menial jobs, carpenters, things like that. Just have a lot of them. You can never have enough of them. Okay, technical glitches. Have technicians on standby. Technology can be a blessing and a curse. Embrace it. Technology is here, so don't even say I used to be. I'm a physical person. I don't really like. I'm not a virtual person, but it is what it is. When COVID happened and people were talking about virtual wedding, I say it will not hold. It's not possible, but it's happening. They've done proposal, virtual proposal has happened. Virtual wedding, virtual naming ceremony. Somebody had a baby and did virtual naming ceremony. So in Lagos, they had party. We had Shegun Johnson play. Who again? Then the lady was in Canada. That's where she gave birth to. So she too dressed in one room there. Her husband is in South Africa. Virtual, and everything went well. Do you understand? So technology is here. So if you're not too tech inclined, you could have a member of your team. So don't say, try and learn it, know it. Can get to if there's going to be a screen, but you can ask questions. How is it going to run? How will it be? What do we do? Ask questions. And that's the best way of embracing technology. Like this StreamYard, when they sent me the link, in my mind, I just assume it's Zoom. I didn't even check. I just say it's just to be Zoom. Do you understand? It was when I clicked it today to join the Canada stream yard. I said, which one is stream yard? And this is where we are here. We've had we spent 2 hours plus. Man, time has gone. We spent 2 hours plus on StreamYard, and I think I not I think I enjoyed it. It's stress free. You know, so please embrace technology. It's here for life. So acquaint yourself with up to date details of the Health and Safety Commission in your local state or nation. Please, there are safety commissions now. There are no, you have to know in Lagos State, for example, every event is registered. You have certification. You must get clearance from Lagos State before you have any event. And some of this clearance, sometimes you pay, sometimes you don't pay. But please keep yourself abreast. Ask questions. Do I need to pay? What should I do? What site? Don't run alone, because you won't like Lagos State to badge on you when you're having your event. It's your name they will carry on papers, and it's not a good vibe. Okay? Set KPIs with your team on how to measure the success of your event. So what are those measuring indices? What are those key indices you're going to set up to use as success? So it could be how do I put it now? It could be maybe a number of people that took your card. It could be how do I put it now? How many times people were served. Just set KPI. What are those things that you will, at the end of the day, doing your post evaluation, you say, okay, because this happened, I can say that this event was successful. If this did not happen, that means it wasn't successful. Do you understand? So it's for you and your team to sit down and set it for every of your event. And because these are the things you will discuss when you now do your post event evaluation. Delegate tasks to your team members. Take short breaks and practice work-life balance. This is difficult, but it is possible. Like I always said, everything starts with practice. Start. Take it one step at a time. One step at a time. The great people you see today, they all pass through this route. Today, you might be the only one doing it. You're the one calling vendor. You're the one doing it. Tomorrow, trust people enough to hand them over the list of your vendors and say, please call them and tell them what to do. Because you will not always be available for everything. And that's the truth. And when you stretch yourself so much, one day your body is going to cry. And God forbid that it will cry the day that matters most. Maybe the day, maybe somebody, maybe the president of a nation will call you to plan their event, and you will not be available due to ill health, because you did not listen to your body, because you did not delegate when you should, because you did not train your people, and at that time you'll be paying for that sin. You won't like that, okay? Yeah. So next slide. Thank you very much. So that's the end of the class. Thank you for having me. I hope I'll be able to shine light, on one or two areas, and be able to be a good guide to those of us that are really interested in following this path. Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
My goodness. Please, if you're still here with us, how are you feeling right now? What do you have to say to our facilitator? To be honest, I am just blown away. I am grateful to God. This program has been orchestrated by God, and God chose the facilitators. That's the only explanation to the wealth of knowledge we've received so far. This has been a masterclass. This has been a compressed event management course that anybody that listens to this can take this and run with it. Ejiro is saying this training is 100% educative and excellently superb for free. Oh, God bless you, ma'am, and all the organizers. It's been so good. Someone is saying this has been such a wonderful class, Ife Damola. Then Fadipe Olufumila is saying, thank you so much, Ma, for the explanation on how to charge. Thank you so much, Ma. This training is exceptional and excellently delivered for free. God bless you and all the organizers. They couldn't have said it any better. And Oluwapo is saying, God bless you abundantly, Mama. This was so, so, so good. This was so good. I don't have words, but I'm just so grateful. Anyone who takes this and is really serious about their event management journey should be able to get on with it. There's so many things you said that are priceless. You mentioned association. No man is an island. You would go into a problem and your money will not be able to help you. You mentioned so many things: time management, self management, people management. There's just a lot. I would encourage all of us to go through this again so that you can listen again, right? And if you feel like you want more from this and you would like the opportunity to onboard, mentor with our facilitator and get closer to her on a close knit level, please send a message to us and then we'll take it from there. God bless you so much, Norma. This was so good. This is why as a person, right? It's so important for us to develop ourselves. Please, I know some of us have typed in the chat what we learned, but please tell me, give me a word for our facilitator, something I can highlight to her. So I'm going to go. People were writing their responses when you were speaking. So I'm going to just highlight some of them. Ejiru's own, that's Ejiru's own. I'll just highlight them now. Yeah, the other ones have gone overboard. Okay, Ife is saying, may God keep guiding you. I just got a
Amen.
free gift of amazing knowledge that is priceless. God bless you. Thanks a million for this excellent, unbelievably good training. Madam, I have learned so much today.
Thank
Anoluapo says, thank you to the organizers. I'm pumped to venture into the event planning business. Awesome. We'll be here to support you all. Our prayer is not just that we do a program, is that you take what you've learned and you go and use it. I'm going to play a video shortly, but before I play that video, I want to say the reason why we are empowering women is because we want the women to empower other women. Interestingly, at the physical acquisition, I was saying to all the women, obedience, obedience, obedience. Go and act now. Go and empower someone. You don't know who benefits from what it is that God has placed in your hands. You've learned, go and become so that you can also help other people. That's the essence of this. We sit down, we complain, complain, complain about the darkness. But instead of cursing the darkness, we at the Lead Again Foundation have chosen to shine the light, right? And we're telling you now, go and shine your light. So the public speaking facilitator came here and she was speaking, and just like you said, oh, I've deviated. The deviation is actually God guiding you. Because when she was speaking, she also spoke about, obedience, go and start something, open your Instagram page and start speaking. That was during the public speaking class. And not knowing to her that before the public speaking training, I had said something similar. Open your WhatsApp status, start sharing, blessing lives, see somebody on the road, encourage them. So I'm going to play this video just before I sign you out for people to watch it and take heed to our final thoughts concerning why we're doing this and what they should do after now.
But when God sends you, all He needs is your obedience. Please, I'm begging you, don't leave this place and say, I will remain as I am. Go and inspire other women. Open a WhatsApp group. Start sharing your story on your WhatsApp. Open Instagram page. Shop waiting for platform. Build. But when God sends you, all He needs is your obedience. Please, I'm begging you, don't leave this place and say, I will remain as I am. Go and inspire other women. Open a WhatsApp group. Start sharing your story on your WhatsApp. Open Instagram page. Shop waiting for platform. Build.
Awesome. Stop waiting for platforms. Stop waiting for opportunities. Create them. I like what our, our facilitator said when she said, look for people. Anytime she sees congratulations, she has gone to DM them. I'm available. Oh, I'm available. Oh, I can help you plan. And interestingly, one recipient from our scented candle class has gotten a client that wants to order, I think, 4 diffusers or so, just from that class. Do you understand? So don't take these trainings lightly. And if you need help, you can always reach out to us or reach out to our facilitator. I have posted the handle is somewhere under the screen. Follow her, send her a DM, send her messages. If you get jobs and you're clueless, send her the message and tell her, please, oh, I need help. Oh, what should I do? She will guide you. She will tell you what to do. Before you know, we want to see your success stories. We want to see your testimonies. We didn't just organize this and make it free for making it free sake. We want you not to have an excuse, like she said. Go and be prosperous. Go and live again. Go and empower yourself so that you can bounce back from difficulty. You can walk out of any abusive thing and you can call the shots in your life. Thank you so much, our facilitator. We have to go now. This has been so good. I hope you're seeing all the comments. Oh my God, I am so grateful to you. Thank you for partnering with us to touch lives and to help all these people become learned and trained, at least to a considerable
Thanks.
extent on event management. Exactly. Thank you so much. Opsi is saying this is so apt. Thank you so much. Despite your health, that's what passion will do for you. Let me just talk about this a bit. That's what passion
Mhm.
will do for you. You can be sick like this, like somebody will just tell you, oh yeah, you will get up and you will do it. Apart from that, it's also resilient. Resilient. Don't be a person that any small thing you're like, I beg don't do no. Don't do that because you're training yourself, like she said. So know when to rest, know when to. But when it comes to purpose, there are sometimes you have to stretch to do that which is needful for that season because God would ask you questions. I send people to you, I send this, that, that. And if you keep making excuses to get to a point, it will accumulate, and that big opportunity you're waiting for is not going to come because the ones that came didn't treat them well. So I hope we've learned a lot from all of this. I have learned a lot, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you so much. Please, once again, subscribe to this channel if you've not. Follow Alesta.Suave events. Follow me, and if I speak, follow Lead Again Outreach, Lead Again Foundation. We want to hear you. When you post, tag us as collaborators. We want to see your work and we want to be able to celebrate with you. Thank you so much, Noma Jide Belendu. This was so
Yeah.
good. I'm hugging you from here. Thank you so much. God bless you. We have to go now, everyone. Take care. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.